So I already made a bunch of videos why I like Makoto, but I just said screw it. I kind of wanted to give this another shot and try to get this out as best as I can because I didn't like those other videos and I wanted to give it another chance. So Makoto Nanaya is a big fan favorite character in the BlazBlue community sphere. I don't even know what to call it. But anyway, she's one of the most recognizable fighting game characters ever, in my opinion, being this squirrel girl. No, not that squirrel girl. That's a completely different one. Anyway, usually when the topic of Makoto comes up, mostly from outsiders in regards to BlazBlue, she's often seen as a fan service character.
Oh my goodness!
Hell, I even see tweets about how folks want the jacket she gained in Chrono Phantasma to be her default outfit. People are free to say that if they want. There's nothing wrong with shitty opinions. Now, as for me, I never really saw Makoto as any kind of fan service, really. And while, yes, she has the honor boob going on, the exposed stomach, the short orange skirt, she seems normal. Yes, I am calling the anime squirrel girl with the exposed underboob as normal. Honestly, she doesn't seem that risque compared to other characters, but for the first time individual, I can understand why she would seem that way. But none of that is really the point of the video. What about Makoto outside of all that, like her actual character? That is really what I want to go over because Makoto is a very fun and lovely character, and there are plenty of reasons why I think that. So let's start from the beginning. Makoto had lived with a large and poor family, and due to her species as a demi-human, much like beastkin, which has been used as an umbrella term for the more animalistic folks in BlazBlue, she had faced prejudice and discrimination from those around her. Demi-humans were created as tools of war during the Dark War, and as such, were mostly treated as tools. They are forced to live in the lower levels of the hierarchical cities due to how they are seen by society. And it is down in the lower levels where Seether density is the worst, and while demi-humans are resilient to Seether, they aren't exactly immune to its effects. Now, Makoto got the chance to join the military academy due to her exceptional physical prowess, and she mainly did in order to send money back to her poor family. She was often bullied and treated as if she was less than human by her fellow classmates, which made her somewhat jaded and cold towards others. But Tsubaki and Noelle saw Makoto as a fellow peer and went on to befriending her, which drove the poor girl to tears now that she had others that cared for her. From then on, Tsubaki and Noelle became their best friends, and she would do anything to keep her bonds with them. Ever since then, she became more outgoing and cheerful to the point that others gravitated towards her due to her personality and thus made more friends, who saw Makoto as a person rather than a weapon. Makoto is known to be a person that values her friends dearly, even risking everything she can to protect them and to see them happy. It was this sheer willpower to protect those she cares about is what's caused her to gain the power of order. Now, order is what keeps the balance of the world in check, and the power of order is gained through nothing but raw strength of will to keep the world away from threats. The fact that characters such as Jin, there's Hakumen, who is Jin, and Celica were born with it, while Tsubaki had inherited hers, really says something about how Makoto got hers by sheer strength alone. People like Relish has known Makoto for her immense will, especially her spirit, and had at one point broke it in a bad ending, which was actually one of the most cruel things in all of BlazBlue. But moving away from the more sadder aspects of all this, Makoto is just an overall feel-good person. I made this joke plenty of times before until I ran this point into the ground, but Makoto feels like a character I would love to hang out with IRL. About 85% of BlazBlue characters, while I love them to death, I would never want to hang out with them in any fashion. Ragna is still a criminal at the end of the day with all the baggage that comes with it. Jin is an ass. Noelle is a nervous wreck. Tao is funny but dumber than a sack of rocks. Kokonoe is Kokonoe. Carl is nuts. The stick up Tsubaki's ass is practically touching the stem of her brain. Who the hell would hang out with New and Platinum, with Senna included? Arakune is goop, like she's a lawsuit waiting to happen, etc., etc. The girl just radiates this energy that lets me enjoy her character. While she isn't exactly the most plot-relevant character, I think she is in a good spot, in my opinion, for doing what she does. Makoto, in regards of abilities, is actually pretty normal when you think about it. Yeah, she is a demi-human for sure, and all the stuff that comes with it, has a strong soul which even allowed her to survive a round trip to the boundary and back, and is powerful enough and speedy in her own right, but she doesn't have any kind of crazy powers or tools like most of the cast. She doesn't have a Nox, she can't transform like Valkenheim, isn't a freak of nature like Azrael. You kind of get my point here. I mean, hell, she barely knew Naruto for a few hours and essentially pulled off a sacrificial hit just to save him. Just a kick-ass, double agent boxing squirrel girl is all you need to grab my attention. Hell, even both her theme songs, Alexandrite and Alexandrite 2, perfectly captures that bubbly, upbeat energy that Makoto has, especially Alexandrite 2. There's also the funny thing about seeing Makoto playing the straight man to Tsubaki and Noelle is the funniest thing to be. Tsubaki's always usually one playing the straight man, but when she goes off the deep end and when Makoto tries to figure it out, Makoto's just stuck in the middle thinking, well, damn it.